Hello everyone, welcome back to a new episode of Matthew Sports Talk. As you can see, it looks a little different. I'm actually filming from my living room instead of my bedroom. Also, you notice I'm wearing some Timberwolves garb. The season starts next week, and I also have some big news. I actually just accepted a position with the Timberwolves as a retail supervisor that pays $20 an hour. So I am beyond thrilled. I am so excited to start. So I'm in a real good mood, guys. Just been chilling out today, and then I also right now I got playoff baseball on, which I'll talk about in a little bit, just briefly. But let's get to what I was talking about in the last episode. I have a list of teams that I think can currently make the Super Bowl. So let's get started. Let's start off with the Nfc North. This is the Packers. I originally had the Packers as yes, but right now I have a maybe. And the primary reason is that it's obvious they missed Devontae Adams. And, their defense. Their defense was supposed to be top 10, and it hasn't played like that. So, I'm sorry, I'm going to take a pause again. I need some water because my throat is still dry. Okay, guys, I'm back. Got a nice big. This is actually a theater cup that I got when I used to work at a movie theater. My favorite film franchise, James Bond. As you can see, it had the date April 2020. This was for before it got postponed twice. So, a little insight as to that. Okay, so yeah, Packers. Currently have them as maybe. Did have them as yes, currently have as maybe. My Minnesota Vikings. Wait, I have someone over here. Oh, yeah, Pikachu? What's that? What's that you say? Pika. Oh? Pika. So you're saying yes, the Vikings do have a chance to make the Super Bowl. Pika. Okay. So yeah, Pikachu says yes. I say yes too. I will comment though. Defense needs to figure out the scheme, the new scheme. If the defense can figure out that scheme, and Cedarius Smith and Daniel Hunter can effectively rush the quarterback, I think we'll be a dominant team and nobody would want to face us, especially with our offensive weapons like Jefferson and Cook and Adam Thielen. So. Detroit. That's a no for me. Putting up points is only part of the battle. The other battle is stopping the other team from scoring points, and that's the issue that Detroit has. So, and then the Chicago Bears. That would be a hell no. Hell no. The only thing that they have working for them, they have a good running game. And Darnell Mooney somehow is a decent wide receiver. Outside of that, the Bears have nothing going for them. And Justin Fields needs a system that works for him. So yeah, that'll be a hell no for the Chicago Bears. Moving on to the NFC South, the Buccaneers, I put yes. They are banged up right now, but I think, time will help and various other things. And if some of those guys don't get back, the people who are playing right now get experience. So, New Orleans Saints, no. And this is not because of their defense. It's not because of Alvin Kamara. It's not because of Michael Thomas. It's simply because of the fact that the guy that's throwing the ball, his name is Jameis Winston. I do not have any faith in a team that has a quarterback that throws almost as much interceptions as he does touchdowns. So that would be a no for me. I didn't say hell no. I just said no. And Jameis Winston is the one primary point of that's the reason why. Now we go to the Carolina Panthers. That would be a hell no because of the fact that Baker Mayfield is their quarterback. And right now he's injured. So that might be a blessing in disguise. They just fired their head coach. So, yeah, things are looking really bad in Carolina right now. There's no chance. No chance in hell. And also the Falcons. I put down hell no, but I'm going to change that to just a no. I feel like they have good offensive weapons and their defense does show up on occasion, but Marcus Mariota, I mean, jury's still out on him. Haven't seen enough of him. Alright, going to the East, NFC East. Philadelphia Eagles. Yes. Yes. Jalen Hurts is real. Their offense is real. Their defense is formidable. I can testify to this. So, yes for the Eagles. The Dallas Cowboys. I put down yes. This is primarily predicated on Dak Prescott and the offense. I do not think. I mean, their defense is formidable. No question about it. Michael Parsons is a beast. But can Dak make it work with the weapons he has? I know Ezekiel Elliott, he's a runner. Tony Pollard is good, but he needs to make it work with the weapons he has. So the Giants, I originally had no. I changed that to maybe. They did pass their first test beating the Packers. Good for them. Now pass another test. Next week, you have the Ravens. The Ravens' offense is a lot more potent than the Packers' offense right now. Stopping Lamar Jackson, if the Giants can stop Lamar Jackson and beat the Ravens, then I would start to take the Giants seriously. So, and then you got the Washington Commanders. That would be a hell no. Ron Rivera even threw Carson Wentz under the bus today. He said it's a quarterback-driven league. If you don't have a elite quarterback, you aren't going to win in this league, which is a direct indictment of Carson Wentz. So, moving on to the NFC West. The 49ers, I put yes. Sorry, I'm going to just take one sip of water. Actually, a couple of sips. The 49ers defense is good. It sucks that I'm not seeing Trey Lance play a full season. Jimmy G will only take them so far. So yeah, that's why this question is make the Super Bowl. Can they make the Super Bowl with Jimmy G? Yes. He's been to NFC title games. He's been to a Super Bowl. Can they win one? That remains to be seen. But I would say yes. The Rams, I originally put yes and just put down help. But I'm changing that to no. Here's what the Rams really, really need. They need a lot. They pretty much need a new offensive line because Stafford is not getting protected, and Stafford is looking banged up. He's not looking like the same guy who won the Super Bowl last year. They don't have a power back. Cam Akers, he's a good guy, but he can't. If he meets a wall, he just stops. And it's clear and obvious that they're only throwing to Cooper Kupp. They have no other wide receiver that can serve as a distraction. The Vikings, Jefferson can serve as a number one. Jefferson can be a distraction for another receiver like Adam Thielen or KJ Osborne or maybe Irv Smith. The Rams can't use Cooper Kupp as a distraction because who else do they got? They do got Allen Robinson, but they're not throwing to him. I mean, there is Tyler Higbee, but he's a tight end. He does get, but still, primarily throwing, I would say about 80% of the time they're throwing it to Kupp, which makes them too predictable. So, I'm going to change that to no. Arizona Cardinals, I originally had maybe. I'm changing it to no. Nothing against Kyler Murray, but their defense is not good. And their time management situations, they're just really, really bad when it comes to time management. So that will haunt you when it comes to playoff time, which in turn will cause you to not advance. And then the Seattle Seahawks, no. I'm very surprised how well they're doing right now with Geno Smith being the quarterback, but yeah, there's just too many teams ahead of them. And I'm not sold on their defense. It's not the same as it used to be when it was the Legion of Boom, so yeah. Okay, moving on to the AFC. With the AFC North, Baltimore, I put a maybe. And it all relies on their defense. I know Lamar can ball. They can run like crazy. They may not. First of all, they can't really pass. They can't pass greatly. I don't even know. What the hell am I saying? They can't pass the ball as efficiently as they run the ball. And their defense is not predicated. It's not the Ravens' defense of old. Okay. They gave up a lot of deep plays. So, I put down a maybe for them. The Cleveland Browns, I put down a maybe. And this is... So this leads up to how well they do until Deshaun gets back. I say if they're at like 500, so he returns week, I think, 12 or week 13. I think week 13. If they're like 6-6 or 7-5 before Deshaun returns, Deshaun can take that and run with it, which makes them automatically a playoff team. So I say maybe right now. Cincinnati Bengals, I put no. This team is not the team that made the Super Bowl last year. Supposedly they thought they got the offensive line fixed. Actually got worse. And Joe Burrow, he looks great, but yeah, I'm sorry, Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, they don't look the same as they were last year. So I put that in no. And then the Pittsburgh Steelers. That'd be a hell no. Mike Tomlin's probably in line for his first losing season as a Steelers head coach. Mitchell Trubisky obviously didn't work out. They put Kenny Pickett in. And, they just got their asses handed to them by the Buffalo Bills. But, Buffalo Bills can do that to anyone, but still. And they're without TJ Watt, so their defense is down a man, a substantial man. So they can't really rush the passer. They still have Mika Fitzpatrick, but as you might have seen against the Bills, he got beat by Gabriel Davis. And Gabriel Davis just flat out embarrassed him. Mika Fitzpatrick should have had an interception on that play. But Gabriel Davis kind of just ripped the ball away from him. So, yeah. That'd be a hell no for Pittsburgh. To the AFC South. Let me just make it easy for you guys. Every team is a no, with the exception of the Houston Texans, which are a hell no. Jacksonville, not consistent. And Trevor Lawrence is still young. The Colts use Matt Ryan too much and don't use Jonathan Taylor enough. The Tennessee Titans, yes, Derrick Henry is good. Their defense is decent. It's still Ryan Tannehill, so no. And then we all know Houston Texans, hell no, because who's their quarterback and who do they have on defense? Who's their receivers? I know Davis Mills is the quarterback of the Houston Texans, but outside of that, I probably can't name a single goddamn skill player for the Houston Texans. So, that'd be a hell no. The AFC East, Buffalo. Yes. Definitely yes. I will say this. Next week, Bills and Chiefs. There are two top 5 of my power rankings. There are 2 top 5 matchups and actually 3 top 10 matchups. But the 2 top 5 matchups are Bills, Chiefs, and Eagles, Cowboys. Bills, Chiefs will be very, very revealing because whoever wins it will most likely have home field advantage in the playoffs. Because I honestly think it's either going to be the Bills or the Chiefs that are going to be in the number 1 seed. I don't think Baltimore will be. I think the highest Baltimore will be gained as the number 3 seed. I think it will be either Chiefs or Bills as the number 1 seed. So, whoever wins that, I think will definitely have the home field advantage. Now, the Bills' status quo is until they beat the Chiefs when it matters. So now, if they beat the Chiefs here, then yes, they most likely will get home field advantage. But it will not be as devastating of a blow to the Chiefs because the Bills have yet to beat them when it matters. So if you're asking me who do I think it's a bigger game for this Sunday, it's definitely a bigger game for the Bills than it is for the Chiefs. So yeah. Miami Dolphins. I put yes. And I say this is going to rely on Tua. Because A, will he stay healthy? And B, will he keep on clicking with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle? The only other thing is their defense is not. I'm not 100% sold on the Dolphins' defense quite yet. And then the Jets and the Patriots, I put hell no. I'm sorry. I know Robert Saleh is keeping receipts about Jets, about people saying bad things about the Jets. You're 3-2 and you've barely beaten teams. You beat the Dolphins without Tua and whatever. So competition matters. So shut up, Robert Saleh. And the Patriots, I'm sorry, but Bill Belichick, I think it's time that you retire because Mac Jones isn't improving. He's regressing. I mean, your defense is good, but still gotta be able to put points on the board. Okay. And then we got the AFC West. Got the Chiefs. And my man Mahomes. And my man Kelsey. That's going to be a yes for me. And I will say this. Outside of Kelsey, they don't have another big distraction in the receiving core. That might become an issue. I personally believe that the Chiefs should be the primary candidate of a team to go to for Odell Beckham Jr. Because with him on that team, he can serve as a distraction for Kelsey, and Kelsey can serve as a distraction for him, and vice versa. I truly believe OBJ can resurrect his career as a number 1 wide receiver with the Kansas City Chiefs. If he signs with the Chiefs, it's a wrap. The Chiefs are going to the Super Bowl. But until then, Kelsey is still the only primary target for Mahomes in the passing game, especially in the red zone. And also, the Chiefs' O-line needs to be improved. I realize the Raiders have a good pass rush, but Jesus, Mahomes was barely game protected last night. So, the Chargers I originally had maybe. I put that as a no. Not only because they have a lot of injuries, their coach doesn't make good calls. He's a very analytical coach, and I understand analytics have a part in today's game, but at a certain point, it's like you can't just say, well, I analytically chose to do this. Sometimes you just gotta go with your gut, and not necessarily with analytics. I think he goes with analytics too much for his own good. The Broncos, I originally had maybe. I changed that to no. Because like I discussed in my last episode, Russell Wilson is currently a fraud. He is currently stealing $250 million from the Denver Broncos. Now, this can change. But I don't think it's going to happen this season. And not with Nathaniel Hackett. So. And then the Raiders, I put down no. Because of their consistency. And I can testify to this. my Vikings, would rather them blow out opponents. But, a one-score win is a one-score win, and I'll take it. They are 4-1, and their record in one-score games is 3-0. The Raiders, their record in one-score games is 0-4. Especially when it comes down to last night. You had a chance to tie it and force Kansas City to go and have to score. Instead, you made the bonehead decision to go for 2 points, and you didn't convert it. So, yeah. I know analytics have a part, but sometimes you just gotta go with your gut. So, yeah. That's my little make the Super Bowl list. So now that we're done with that, let's make my game picks for next week, shall we? Game pick time. Alright, let's go. Week 6. Okay. So we're starting off with was potentially the most boring and god-awful Thursday night football game in NFL history. Got the Bears and the Commanders. Big flippin' whoop-de-doo. I would like to see Justin Fields light it up for the whole sake of the argument that Bears fans will be like, we need a new quarterback. You got Justin Fields. Justin Fields, light it up, please. So that at least Bears fans can stop complaining. So my prediction, I say Bears by 4. 49ers and Falcons, I'll say 49ers by 7. Browns and Patriots. I think Patriots defense will keep this a good game. I'm going to still say Browns by Browns by 6. Let's just say that. Packers and Jets. Packers 10+. Colts and Jaguars. Oh God, the AFC South is just atrocious. Do I really have to pick this game? I guess I will. Colts are at home. I'll say Colts by 3. It's a toss-up, really. I really couldn't care less. Vikings and Dolphins. So right now, the ESPN Fantasy app has 75% of people picking the Vikings. Now, I think this is largely because of the fact they don't know what's going on with quarterback. Tua is still in concussion protocol. Teddy is in concussion protocol. They are expecting Teddy to clear it. So I think the primary expectation is that Teddy will be the quarterback. I think we have a better shot being the Dolphins with Teddy than with Tua. I mean, even if Tua was back, he probably wouldn't be 100%. So originally I had this game down as a loss, but I'm feeling a lot better about it now because of the fact, well, it's not only that, Tyreek Hill is also banged up as well. So maybe all the Vikings need to worry about is Jalen Waddle. So I'll get deeper into that matchup later. Bengals and Saints. I'm going to say Bengals by 3. That's a toss-up for me. Ravens and Giants. Giants, are you for real at 4-1, or are you just leading us astray? I'm sorry. Ravens, I think they're going to go off on you. I'm going to say Ravens by 7. I still think the Giants will put up some points and keep it a game, but I'm going to say Ravens by 7. Buccaneers and Steelers. Buccaneers by 10+. Yeah. Their defense is gone. This might be a shutout. Steelers might get shut out in this game. Rams and Panthers. Ooh, God. 2 teams that are not good right now. I'll say Rams by 6. Panthers are just god awful. And here we go, Chiefs and Bills. 64% of people pick the Bills. I indicate a toss-up, but it is in Kansas City, and if anyone, I'm sure Chiefs fans know what that crowd is like. I'm going to say Chiefs by 6. Not this time, Josh Allen. Not this time. Sorry. And then the Sunday night game, Eagles and Cowboys. I think they're going to match up pretty well, but at the same time, it looks like Cooper Rush is still going to be the quarterback. Jalen Hurts is clearly better. I'm going to say Eagles by 7. And then Monday Night Football, Broncos and Chargers. Broncos by 6. I mean, not Broncos. Chargers by 6 over the Broncos. So now back to the Vikings and Dolphins game. Our offense versus their defense, I say advantage us. I know their defense has been pretty good, but I think we can handle it. Our defense against their offense, I'm giving them the slight advantage. It all depends on who's at quarterback and if Tyreek's going to play. If Tua and Tyreek are back, then I'm going to give them the advantage on that. If it's just Tyreek, then I'll say about even. If neither Tyreek nor Tua are back, I'm going to give us the advantage. Special teams. I give us the advantage on special teams. There's still that butt punt that they're talking about. Coaching. Mike McDaniel has been better. Has done a better job coaching, so I'll give them the advantage on that. X Factor. It's in Miami. It's warm as heck. They're on the visiting sideline, so they're in the heat. So I give them the advantage. So right now, I'll say final score will be, I think it's going to be another one-score game. I'm going to say Vikings 31, Dolphins 27. And I know it's still kind of early. This still kind of relies, that's if Tua and Tyreek aren't playing. We'll just have to wait and see. So, yeah. Briefly, let's talk about playoff baseball. Right now, I have the Astros and Mariners game going on. I think so the Phillies and Braves are still playing. The Phillies are up 7-3, though, in the bottom of the 8th. So, just a little playoff snip for you. So, yeah, that would be the end of this episode. I know, back-to-back episodes. And, me drolling on. Like, geez, this right here, just for an hour of me droll about sports. But, lots to talk about. So I'll see you guys next week. And I am going to be fairly busy because I'll be working with the Timberwolves. And then I can start talking about Timberwolves next week. And then I'll still be with the Vikings. So, I obviously will talk about them. So, yeah, fun times. So, I'll see y'all next week.